the do not cross zone. If Loki wants to go stand over there real quick. Alright. This is the Oryx fight. This is it. This is the one for all the cookies. We don't cross there because if we cross where Loki is, we accidentally start the raid. Now, I said previously we were going to do fixed plates, and we did. We did fixed plates. I was back left, Loki was front right. It was a fun time, but now we're doing rotating plates, which means one person will always be plate 1, one person will always be plate 2, and another person will always be plate 3.
Loki calls 3.
Okay. 2 Titans will stand in the middle with bubbles. One running blessings, one running weapons. And I will explain the reason for this in a moment. The other person, the 6th person of our merry little team, where is you, Mikey? Where are you? There he is up there. He will be now our designated runner. The runner is always one set person for this fight. His job will be to maneuver around the plates that we are building, grabbing an aura, and then slamming it down on, instead of a sister, he will be slamming it down on a knight that spawns called the Vessel. But that's jumping ahead a few steps. When Loki crosses that line and sends that little orb down, he is going to call forth Oryx, which is the famous nope, 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 nope moment that many people have seen on the internet, because Oryx done got swole. He lifts.
He got jacked.
He got jacked. Do not ask him if he lifts, because he does. He will come in and look and all big and bad.
Titan smash?
I don't think he Titan smash. Well, yes, actually he does.
We test.
He skips leg day massively. So what's going to happen is once Oryx comes in, he's going to summon ads, and we're going to let these bunch of thralls kind of siphon in the middle, and Loki's going to kind of herd them. This is where your hunter comes into play. Your hunter, with a tether, set for Black Hole or Bloodbound, and what was it, Light of the Pack?
Yes.
Okay, this is, if you're playing a hunter, this should be your loadout for this fight. Again, I don't like telling people...
It's the ideal loadout.
It's the ideal loadout. That's what I should say. It's not like saying, like, this is how you have to do it. This is the ideal loadout. Black Hole for that extra long tether, and Light of the Pack to generate orbs. We'll see why in a second.
And Predator.
And Predator, yes. And Predator. Do I ever run Predator? I don't think I ever do. I usually run Shade Step. No, decreases Shadow Shot. Cool. Good lord, why have I never used it? Anyway, I need to start using that, because I never Shade Step anymore. What will happen is Loki will herd the Thrall down the mid. And then the hunters will tether them. We will stand right where Mikey's at, and we just kill the Thrall. That's going to generate a pool of orbs for the Titans in the middle, which is very important. Oryx will then decide to either go, after he summons 2 knights on the platforms, which we need to kill immediately, he will swing to the left or swing to the right. That is plate 1. Wherever Oryx swings is plate 1. He'll then stand over a plate and smash his fist. At that point, Mikey, the runner, will jump up and grab the orb that he leaves behind. Plate holder 1 will follow behind him very quickly. At which point 1 will say, but always after. Plate 1 never jumps up first, because if plate 1 jumps up first, they become the runner. So if you don't want to be the runner, let the runner up first. Plate 2 is always to the left of Oryx. So if Oryx is here on the front left, plate 2 will always be back left. If Oryx is on front right, plate 2 will be front left. So always look to your left of where you see Oryx. That is your plate 2. Plate 3 is probably the easiest to remember. It is diagonal from Oryx. So if Oryx is on front right, you're on back left. Now the reason we say that this is important because Oryx moves in a particular pattern between each round, which I will explain in a moment. Oryx will always go front, back, front again, and then front the opposite side. So he kind of moves like a knight in chess, if you can think of that, or the L piece in Tetris. So if he swings left, he's always going to go, if he swings right, he's always going to go front right, back right, front left. And you want to try to do this in 4 rounds. So that's why I'm only going 4 rounds. So it's really easy to remember where your plate is if you remember the order of the rounds. So say for round 2, he moves to back left, plate 2 will be back right, plate 3 will be front right, and so forth. If you ever get confused, and it's your first time doing this, do not hesitate to say, which plate do I need to go to, and your team will very nicely, if they're a good team, tell you which plate direction to run to. Loki, our runner, will be running around the whole time trying to gather the orbs like he did in the Sisters. Meanwhile, the 2 Titans in the middle who have popped their bubbles and immediately turn their attention to whatever plate Oryx is on, because giant ogres are going to start spawning out of these pools of water. Those 2 Titans are going to focus their fire on those ogres. And then they're going to immediately turn to their left, and they're going to kill that ogre. And they're going to turn to their left again and kill that ogre until all 4 ogres are dead. Each ogre will leave behind a giant black bomb that we will then later detonate. Are we doing 8 and 8 or 16? Do we want to demonstrate the challenge mode?
Yeah, let's demonstrate. Demonstrate challenge.
So challenge mode is you have to detonate you have to detonate 16 orbs minimum on Oryx at once. So you have to take them from full health to 0 health, because the bombs are how you damage Oryx. So what we're going to do in this case is we're going to each round just kill the ogres, and then once we've killed the ogres and Mike has the Aura of Immortality, we all gather back in the middle, Oryx will slam his fist again, and we all focus fire on his chest. When we focus fire on his chest, it'll open up. We need to stagger him. Once he is staggered, we immediately kill adds, and we wait for him to reclaim the darkness. And he will then pull us into what we call Thunderdome. It's a Shadow Dome where we have to kill an Echo of Oryx who will come in and try to smash us with a sword. We have to do this before all 6 of us have been pulled in, and meanwhile the people who have not been pulled in will be killing adds outside. You will see this demonstrated. It's a lot to kind of explain in one setting. After we have killed the Echo of Oryx in the Thunderdome, everything resets, and we move to the next plate. We're going to do this 4 times. On the 4th one, after we have staggered Oryx and we've killed the adds, the runner will say, everyone run to your orbs. At which point, each of the plate holders and one of the Titans in the middle will run to one of the plates, the plate that they were at last. For the Titan, it would be the 4th plate then, the one that was unoccupied. And when the runner says, step inside, we all step inside at the same time, and it has to be synchronized. And if the ogres are kind of catty-cornered or died in a weird space, you got to make sure you're standing in the center of all 4 of the orbs. You can get a good visual of it if you're standing on a plate. Once you've stood there long enough, you're going to see your name come up, and it'll say, like, so-and-so has detonated a corrupted light. When you've seen your name appear 4 times, you head back to the center. If you don't, and those bombs go off, you're dead. Normal mode, that's not a problem. Your team can res you. Hard mode, that's a problem. Once the bombs have all detonated, you will then cause damage to Oryx. The method that we are showing you tonight is the challenge mode, which will be next week. And it is easier, because you don't have to worry about people dying in between random detonations. So, did I miss anything?
Nope.
The what? Oh yes.
The bombs.
If you do a detonation and do not take Oryx to below half health, he will then swing out to Saturn and start bombing everyone with light grenades. That is when everyone needs to start running around whatever plate they were on, running across the sister platforms. Basically, you need to stay away from each other, because you will detonate and hurt each other if you're crossing paths. That is why we also do the 16 orb strat every time, or the 8 and 8 strat, where we detonate twice, 8 orbs collected. Because then we completely bypass the running, because even the most veteran raid runner will die randomly because they trip over a rock and that bomb goes off.
Yep.
It happened last night, I think. So,
one final thing. For people wondering, because we've seen this pop up a couple times in the Slack chat, Is Touch of Malice necessary for the Oryx encounter? No.
It is not.
Look at Loki.
Look at Loki.
I'm running Red Death. I will run Red Death unless I am in the middle. Red Death is my go-to for this fight.
He brings up a good point. If you are a Titan in the middle, Touch of Malice is brilliant, because what we do is we pop the bubbles and we're recharging our health as we dip into the Blessings bubble, and we're just pouring that one Touch of Malice shot round and round into each of the ogres, dipping back in, replenishing health, doing it again. Otherwise, and other than maybe keeping Oryx's chest open during detonation phase, Touch of Malice is not always necessary. In fact, here's the funny thing. In order to get Touch of Malice, you have to beat Oryx. So you're going to go through the Oryx fight at least once to get the Touch of Malice. And you should be collecting all their relics at this point, right? Right, Geek? Like, you should just need one more piece before you can build yours. So, and we're going to do that. Yep. So anything else? Anything else?
No, it does not. It does not. It does not help in Thunderdome. But when you collapse to the middle, if you're taking damage before the aura gets there, a single burst kills an Acolyte Eye. I've regened health.
Now, we'll discuss... Now, here's what's going to happen while the people are holding the plates. In normal mode. In normal mode, what's going to happen? People are going to hold the plates, they're going to kind of hide at the back, and they're going to turn around and help the Titans in the middle shoot the ogres that pop up. That's their job. And then they're going to wait for the relic holder to say, or to the runner to say, I've got it, and they're going to collapse into the middle and hide out in the Titan bubbles with us and have a good old time. In hard mode, I will explain hard mode after we've done the fight. Weapon loadouts change just a little bit, but what's going to happen after he has the Aura of Immortality, we are all going to team fire on the vessel to take the vessel down. Because if the vessel, we let him run away, he'll eat the light orbs. So, I think that's everything for normal mode. Yes, I'm sorry, yes. One of the Aura holder and one of the Titans in the middle need to be continually putting damage in the Oryx's chest, because if you let his chest close, that bomb's not going to do anything. So thank you for bringing that up. So let's kickstart this party. Let's show everyone how it's done, because I think that's all the mechanics. I can't think of anything else. Here we have Tether. DJ's obviously a Titan in the mid. Backspacer, do you want to run weapons or blessing? Okay. I'll change the weapons. Now, this is important. If everyone is looking at DJ's stream, this is how you want your Titan set up for this fight. I mean, obviously ignore what I'm using for my melee, but
it's ideal.
This is the ideal. You want to make sure that your third column from the left is set for Titan Codex. Well, I'm sorry, not Titan Codex. Your third column from the left is set for Bastion to increase your duration of Ward of Dawn, and Illuminated on the final column to increase the benefits granted by a Blessing of Light and Weapons of Light. I personally run Armamentarium because I want 2 suppressor grenades, because we're going to be dealing with a lot of Taken Acolytes and a lot of Taken Centurions. So suppressing their powers is more important. But you could also run Glasshouse to increase the duration of Weapons of Light if you're the weapons bubble like I am right now. This is the optimal loadout. I really don't recommend using anything else, because you're going to cut your very vital time. Your bubble is not just going to help replenish your health as you're taking out ogres, it's also going to give your teammates a very stable place to hide out while the relic holder gets the Aura of Immortality. So there's that.
I will always argue Ruin Wings.
Yes, I know.
Just because Glasshouse does not increase the bubble's length.
Yeah, that is weird, Irish. Okay, so let's